since I was little, I enjoyed fixing things. That's not actually true. Fixing came later. In the beginning, I just liked to take things apart. At some point, I got my hand on a reversible Phillips flathead screwdriver, and I put the tool to use. I wasn't content to play with my toys. I wanted to know how they worked. What made Miss Fussy cry? The only way to find out was to look inside. So like a tiny toy surgeon, I opened her up. I was impressed with the gears and the tubing that I found, but I didn't pay attention to the most important part, which was how to put the gears and tubing back the way I'd found them. Miss Fussy no longer peed into her diaper, she peed into her battery compartment. When it came time to investigate the record player I thought was on the inside of my talking Barbie, I planned to be more careful. But then there was a snapping sound as I removed Barbie's legs so I could pry apart her body. Turned out it wasn't a record player at all, and Barbie now needed a rubber band to keep her legs attached. As years went by, I continued to take my things apart, but by this time I wanted to know what the inside of my radio looked like or what made a turntable turn. And when something was broken, I tried to fix it. When I moved into my current house, I thought the thermostat for the 1970s furnace needed updating. I was comfortable with doing projects like this, and I thought it would be pretty easy. I carefully removed the cover. I paid attention to the way the wires were attached, but there were more wires coming out of the wall than places to attach them on the new thermostat, and the colors didn't exactly match up. I played a guessing game as I ran up and down the stairs, flipping off the breaker, wiring in the new thermostat, flipping the breaker back on, listening for the sound of the furnace to start up, which it eventually did. And then it shut down. Permanently. I fried the motherboard. We spent 5 weeks huddled in front of a space heater waiting for the new furnace to be installed. Now, for every mistake I made, I also learned a lot about how things are put together. And I've had a lot of different successes, as you can see. But I also learned that it's better to wait until something is broken before you try and fix it. About 5 years ago, our TV went down during the finals of the Masters. My husband wanted to replace it immediately, but I got on the internet and realized most likely our color wheel had failed, and I ordered a new part. Since this was a big TV, I was willing to waste $30 if there was a chance I could fix it. This past Masters, we watched Tiger win on that same TV. My friends think of me as their handy person. The other day, a neighbor called up asking me to diagnose the squealing sound coming from his dryer. I took a listen, and for about $13 for a new drive belt and about an hour of my time, his dryer is tumbling quietly. It's not that I'm against repairs by professionals. I am against people buying a new machine because it costs almost as much to fix an existing one. We're living in a world of planned obsolescence, and our pocketbooks and our planet are feeling the strain. Manufacturers have created a monopoly on repair with proprietary codes and proprietary tools, keeping us from fixing products that we already own. From clothing to electronics to appliances, we need to be in a repair mindset way before we think about recycling. Now, one day I heard a sound like rocks tumbling coming from the furnace. I paid for a service call, and the technician quickly diagnosed the problem, showing me the broken part. He suggested I get a new furnace because our current one was now at the end of its life. I got a few bids, but then I remembered he showed me the broken part. That was 7 years ago, and the furnace is still working. I hope tonight I've inspired some of you to join the repair revolution, because I think you can fix everything. Thank you.